Just 1 second, guys. I'm seeing if this new setup works. I'm going to live stream to YouTube from Streamlabs. Right. See what we got here. Well, in case you guys haven't seen us before, Ken from Glorious Geeks. Thanks everybody for joining me tonight. If you can hear me, drop it in the comments. I think I can see it here on Streamlabs now. We should be able to switch between cameras today and do this unboxing. So the purpose of Print and Pretzels is to get this guy, an A1 Mini. You got to figure out a name for him. I want to call him Alfie because of the little robot I had as a kid. This kind of reminds me, this texture and color reminds me of like the 80s, 90s robotic stuff and computers. But the purpose of the Print and Pretzels edition, for mobile edition, is we're going to make something as compact as possible so that we can take our printing with us wherever we go. A couple of the things that I wanted to cover today is something pretty cool on, like, it's like an experiment, I would say. There's a couple of different layers to this. We want to see if we can get it to function here in the hotel. Once we can get it to function here in the hotel, we'll take it different places. We'll see if we can print on the go in the truck. No, it will not be in the passenger seat. Maybe it'll be a passenger princess, but we're going to see if we can take it in the car and if we can get stable prints that goes with us on the cart in the car. And if that's the case, we'll start taking little Alfie here on printing mobile tours. So we're just having fun with this, making the best of return to work orders, and I'm super excited to see what, as we go through this process, I want to document and thank you, Addie, for letting me know that you can hear and see that in the comments also here on the live stream. That's awesome to see that's working. As we document this process, if you guys have any suggestions for files that we can add to the cart, put them in the chat or messages to us on Facebook. I'll put that link in the description of this video series after I post it on Fridays. I'll post it Friday mornings after I do a little bit of editing and tweaking to clean it up on some of the things that I need to clean up. But if you do that, we'll print them off in the color that you suggest. Otherwise, we'll do the prints in Bambu colors. Kind of like the faded greens, as you see here. I went off and between streams here, did print off that handle that goes on the top here, so it's pretty exciting. Something else to note for you guys, which I'll have in the description, again, on the future live streams and on the watch afters. I'm going to make a list, a collection, I should say, on Maker World of Print and Pretzels Mobile Edition. And anything that we print off on this little guy here for the IKEA cart, I still haven't come up with a name for the cart yet. You guys can help me out with that one. Whatever we print off there, I'm going to try to get it off Maker World. And if we do get it off Maker World, it will be in that. And I'll put that link in the description as well. Tonight, our pretzel of choice is the Dots Homestyle Pretzels. We got a big old box of them of assortments, so we're going to put them. And unfortunately, I pulled the flavor today that I'm not really excited about. It's the honey mustard flavor. So without getting too much more into it, let's crack open these pretzels, and then we'll get on over to the IKEA cart. And man, wait till you see the size of that box. It's tiny. I don't know what's small. Is the cart going to be smaller, or is the printer going to be smaller? I picked it up at the house when we got back late last week, and I was quite surprised. Uh, Honey mustard. Mm. Um, I usually like honey mustard. It's gonna be a long night with these pretzels. um, they're sweet, but at the very end, they have a little bit of a mustard twang. Twang is the only word I can use right now to figure it out. But mm, before we get on over to our unboxing of the IKEA cart, let's check out this little guy here. Take him off the build plate. Whoa! Well, so the nice thing about this one is a lot of the profiles on Maker World, um, some of them will come pre-supported if they have some need supports. And this little guy, he's gonna come up here and mount up here, but there's an overhang here, which is where the print sticks off of itself, kind of creates like a cliff. And this was so well designed that it came pre-supported, and as you just saw, the ports just came right off, or the supports just came right off, and it is pretty epic. Uh, I love how the filament that we're using is by, let me get this name correct here. Uh, it's this Soval Tech, I believe, or TO Sonar 3D filament. It's their matte rainbow. I'll have that in the description for you guys later as well. I really like this. It gives me like super Bambu vibes. I'm trying to be a brandy here. I do have other printers and I do enjoy it, but for this little guy, for this little cart, we'll stick with Bambu if at all possible. Any other printer brands out there want to send us a printer that you think we could put on an IKEA cart, I'm all for it. I almost got the 80X5 printer when we were doing the research on this, and I didn't because in the earlier episode I mentioned that there's a camera on here. I'm not too impressed with the camera now that I've seen it. Bambu, that would be the one suggestion for this little machine I would say is, hey, if we're going to have a camera on here, let's upgrade that. Otherwise, this is a fantastic little machine. But this goes right up here. I believe you have to undo the screw here. We'll do that later. But you undo the screw and this just pops off in place. And then it has the screw here will be a handle, and there'll be other screws that you take out of here, put through here later time. But now I am going to print off some more files for this. As soon as I figure out how I can do it on the live stream for Streamlabs, I'll share my screen. But right now, I am going to print by K2 Kevin. You're going to see a lot of his prints because he or she, sorry, they have a ton of files for designed specifically for the A1 to help combat things that could be better. Like this piece that we're doing right now is called the AMS Lite Hub Armor. So it's this piece. It's a piece that goes around it to make this more sturdy because you can snap this off if you're not careful. I'm going to print that off in the same colors we did earlier with that gradient. Beautiful green gradient filament. So let's get that going over to our A1 Mini right now. Oh, also I did do the research on how to make the music. I haven't done it yet, but I know how to do it. And I also have to make a correction on one of my earlier videos. I thought this was the speaker. It's not. It's even cooler than that. It's actually the motors of the printer that make the music. They're servo motors. I'll have to go back through this video, but I will put a link in the description on that video. I don't remember who inspired it now. I will put a link in the description for that so you guys can see just how cool. You have to do a little bit of G-coding, programming of the printer, but you can put in some cool music. I think I want to see if I can find the old Alfie, like, I think it's called harmonics, so that the sound that it would produce, and see if we can get it programmed on this little guy. But let's see if we can get that file over there. This one does need supports. K2 kind of looks like the profile that I selected. It does have it already supported. So it's going to be about 41 minutes and 50 seconds for this print. Let's get it on over there. It's a two-color print, so it looks like I'm going to do the green and do the white. So right now we have the green set up as number 1 and the white set up as number 4. Let's do this. 1 and then number 4. So it looks like the second color is going to be what supports it. So that's good. White is going to be for the supports, and green gradient is going to be for the actual file. I'm going to do time lapse of it, although I'm not a big fan of the camera. Setting the file over to the printer right now. Also, something for the future of this design and experiment here, in order for us to be able to get this printer to really go mobile, we're going to have to figure out some sort of backup battery up system for it, because we want to be able to unplug it from the wall, still keep printing, put it in the truck, drive wherever we need to drive, and we just keep on going. I think we'll probably get a 24-hour print on this at some point. That would be really cool. I have reached out to Anchor and to see if they would send us. I don't know what that means. To see if they would send us one of their power stations that they just are getting ready to release. It's the C1000 Generation 2 power station. And I just did a review video on this Generation 1. Super impressed. Powered one of our bigger printers for 8 hours straight. And it didn't even eat through the expansion battery. Or it did just a little bit. I think it was 6% into the main battery for 8 hours on the Illugus and sorry carbon. Check that video. I'll put a link in the description if you're watching this after the live stream and up on the video card. As this gets going, I'm going to switch this over to the assembly cam here, and let's see what we can unbox. If you drop any comments in the description, drop any comments in the comments box, I should still be able to see them. I will go back and forth looking at the camera here, see what everybody's saying. So it was pointed out to me that on this live stream, I did not use my trusted Cobalt brand knife, so I had to make sure I corrected that problem. So we got our Cobalt brand knife here. Cut away from your friends. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this box is tiny. So it's a little bit better in the camera for you to see. This thing is like, I wish I had a tape measure. I should have thought of that, but it is. It couldn't be any more than 24 inches wide by 18 inches deep, 5 inches thick. So this is what we got here. This is the IKEA BRÄNNBOLL Cart. You can see a little bit of a picture there. The reason why we got this cart is because we think that it is going to be able to house not only the A1 Mini, but the AMS Lite, and every tool, and some probably I want to say 6 rolls of filament that aren't on the AMS Lite on it. And if we can't, we'll figure out a way to mod it with the help of our community here. So without further ado, let's get this bad boy open. Maybe we can open our box. Again, cut away from yourselves, cut towards your friends. I mean, what? No, kids, don't cut towards your friends. But seriously, be safe. No injuries. So, looks like I will put the tape now. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to do this technically backwards so that you all can see. Trying to make sure I keep an eye on the camera so you can see what's inside the box. IKEA BRÄNNBOLL. We're excited. This should be an all-white metal card. My hypothesis is at some point, because we do live in Michigan and we do get winter here, I think we're gonna have to upgrade the wheels somehow. So when we get to that point, that'll be a future video. All right, so what we got in here so far, on the very top, we got our instruction manual. I'm gonna steal my seat over here so that I can read and assemble with you all. So we got a nice, you can see that or not, nice IKEA BRÄNNBOLL diagram there. I'm super excited. I did not know that these came with some sort of clamps that go on the IKEA SCADAs on the side of the cart, which is super exciting to see. We got a bag of hardware here. It's got some bolts in it. It's got a wrench. IKEA is really good about giving you all the tools to assemble their items with. I can't, after all the drawer shelves that I've assembled, I could probably auction off all of my extra Allen wrenches and be a millionaire. But so this looks like another box of hardware to me. Let's see. We got some metal. This is probably something to do with the side of the cart. Maybe some sort of little shelf there. This is a box of hardware here. It's pretty neat. All right. I'm just going to unpack everything and lay it on the floor, probably right down here, so you guys can see it. As you see here, here's the shelf, it looks like, that goes in the middle of the cart. You can either put it in there horizontally or vertically, according to the pictures online that I've seen. And got some paper in here. I don't know if you've ever seen Waterworld, but I got these paper. Looks like maybe it's one of the shelves. Cardboard. Pretty neat little kit here. I can't believe they fit all this in this tiny little box. I definitely put some R&D into their packaging. Another shelf, it looks like, so this will probably be either the top or the bottom shelf. Sorry to hear a little bit of metal clanging. Got our paper right here again. So, this is what excites me about this cart. I don't know if you can see it there. A little bit lower here. So this is one of the sides of the cart. As you can see, I'm a big fan of this gas panel. But what's cool about this cart is they took it and they made it metal. That's pretty epic. I think at some point in time, in a later video, I'm going to put a big gas panel in front of this and it's like deck it out. Here's a second metal panel here that you got. And that is the end of the box. So we're going to take this box and put the extra in it. And again, the hotel staff is very generous. They're going to let me use their recycling receptacle to take care of this in the morning. Thank you again, guys. Appreciate that. I'm going to set this on camera over here. Check to make sure our printer's doing okay. Pop you guys back over there for a second. This is practice for me, so I can check out what's going on with live stream. Yeah, our printer's doing pretty good. So one of the goals for this cart, I have a lot of goals, is I want to put a camera on the cart that is specifically dedicated to the printer. So that way when we switch it over, you don't get this far shot away from it. You get an up close and personal shot of what is going on with the printer and on the live streams. So let's switch back over to our assembly and let's do this thing. If anyone notices any issues with the camera switching, let me know in the comments. I would be very much appreciated. I took a crash course in Streamlabs for about 3 hours and we'll see how well I learned my lessons. All right, so looks like we got our BRÄNNBOLL here. Step number one. Let's see. Put this down here. You guys can see. I'm gonna adjust the camera distance back out just a little bit. That way you can see me and what I am assembling. There we go. All right. So according to the BRÄNNBOLL Cart, we have a lot of assembling to do. They want us to take one of these metal scatters panels and turn it this way. And then they want us to take one of these, put it on the bottom, like so. I don't know if you can see that. So this is the metal scatter panel. This is the bottom of the cart, or top. They look like they're the same size. There's no labels, so I'm assuming that they are. Before I do that, it's important to open up your hardware so assemble your cart. I had somebody ask me, it was either yesterday or today, I can't remember which day it was. They asked me, what is the purpose of the whole IKEA cart and portable printing? And for me, it wasn't so much, you know, I love my 3D printing. I love taking it places and having it as a hobby, but I kind of wanted to build something with the community that they had input on. And as you watch the channel and you watch us grow, you can see something on that card that you had invested in, and we just, we work through it together. And I feel like that's a pretty good place to start. Who knows? Maybe we'll build a whole fleet of carts. So looks like we take two of the what's labeled on the document as 114142 bolts, and slide them into the side here. Surprised that there's no washer one, but I guess it is metal on metal, so it should be okay. So again, we took the scallop panel with looks like a base. And that's the AMS Lite, not actually fit on the inside of it, so I had to put it on the outside. And we put it with the scallop panel with the full metal base. Making it the full metal jacket out of the video. So I haven't gotten Streamlabs to the point where it tells me that who's online yet. I am going to switch over to YouTube and see who's all joining us. We got any friends online with us yet? Hope everyone is doing well. That going. Let's get back over to Streamlabs. It's a nice platform. We're going to tighten this up as the instructions provide. So normally, I'm doing it at home with myself. I don't use the Allen wrench. Again, kids, don't follow me. Because bad things can go wrong when you take shortcuts. So it's probably good that, or I should say, don't to use an Allen wrench. What I would usually wind up doing is I would take my drill and I would go zip 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 zip, and it would be put together. But for the purposes of our assembly instructions, we're going to do this right here. Plus, if something ever falls off the card, can't be my fault. Right? Got that one on there. So that's step one. On top of step one, at the top of the page, it does tell you that that middle shelf, it shows you that you can go horizontal or vertical. almost want to go for. This is a tiny, tiny cart. Oh my god, I love it. So it looks like it's saying to take the other one and assemble it up here. Actually, okay, kids, here's where reading is essential. So there is a difference between two metal pieces, full metal pieces. So the one that they tell you to put on first is the one I didn't put on. So for those of you that do that this after me, make sure you put the one with the two holes on the bottom. So let's fix our hair. That's what he said was right. Switch something over here because I don't see. There we go. I was thinking about this cart and the different opportunities we have and how to test it, put it through some of the variables on here in the world. So I used to live in Florida, and I realized, man, if I'm going to print that in the truck, what are the elements that it's going to be exposed to? So here in Michigan, it can get hot, but not like down south. So we're going to have to do that, but only for a few months of the year. What I'm interested in seeing is, okay, so in the middle of winter, and we're using the power stations, or power station we put in this cart, how is it cold going to affect it? The build plate should still heat up normal, and the extruder nozzle should still heat up normal, I think. What does it mean to the filament? I don't really have any experience printing cold temperatures. If you do, when you're watching the live stream or afterwards, put it in the comments and let me know what happens when you print cold weather with filament. I know with the warm weather or hot weather, you get things like your filament will melt and it won't go into the AMS, or have a terrible nozzle clog. What happens if you don't? What Jesse did a video a few years back with printing with resin on the snow, or not cold, not necessarily on the snow, but it didn't give me any issues. What is FDM printing the same way? No. It's theory we're gonna test out. You're printing the pretzels room service station. Help if you have it aligned first, Ken. Shout out to your boy Ash. He had a birthday over the weekend. Congratulations on the birthday. Good job making it around the sun for another year. If you have a birthday, you can send us a message on Facebook or drop it in the comments below when your birthday is, and we'll try to keep a running birthday calendar for those of us that are on live streams. Or on not live streams, but those of us that are subscribed to the channel. So I think sure I got this assembled correctly. That was the first one. The screw hole is supposed to go up on the bottom and down on the top, and they're supposed to be in the same spot. I can see that if you assembled this incorrectly, you could have this screw hole in the back and this screw hole in the front, and then disassemble again. Luckily, we did not do that this time. So now it wants me to assemble this panel on the side here. Again, don't use the drill. I think what I'm going to wind up liking with this card, as I can tell you already, just on the first two live streams, the sheer amount of not funds. Taking the printer in and out with the AMS. I had to make 3 or 4 trips with the filament and the AMS and the printer, and eventually we'll have the backup batteries that go with it. Having it all in the cart and just being able to wheel it in is probably worth it just all by itself. IKEA advertises this as a gaming cart for those of you that like video game. Uh, they say this is made for you. I can see how that is because a lot of the SCADA stuff, especially at the data world, when you can 3D print, you can attach to the SCADA panel and it's game controllers. You can even put your, I think there's one of them that you can put your PS5 on the SCADA mounted sideways, so that way it saves space. I will literally have some already printed off. They make cable guides that go into the SCADA hooks. They go vertical and horizontal so they can go around corners. This is which reminds me something that I didn't say about as a goal for this channel. I want to let everyone know that I'm going to try to make sure this happens. Everything that we print for this card able to be printed on the A1 Mini. Because not, I would imagine some people get the A1 Mini, that's the only printer they have. So I would hate to have to print something, or I would hate for us to print something off, and it it winds up not being something that can't be printed on the A1 Mini. They don't get to print it. Sure, there's things that you can do. You can slice a file and weld it together with a 3D welder, but who wants to do that? Let's be honest. It's just extra time. You can just print it. Go. How about that? Hashtag print it. Maybe that should be a channel slogan. That's tough to do. But this is when it gets down to the floor. Maybe screws into the end exercise. If you haven't joined us before now, we also have another live stream that we do on Wednesday nights, which is with the Frozen Arco. We just got that printer, and it keeps back on Kickstarter 2 years ago. It's like the opposite of the A1 Mini. It's multicolored. The chroma kit's kind of that came with the pre-order that I did, but it's now I gotta figure this out because I want to know how many A1 Mini build plates I can fit on that plate. It's 300 by 300 by 300. So I would guess at least 3, if not 4 A1 Mini build plates should be able to fit in there. I'll if I can remember for our next live stream for it, I'll bring the A1 Mini build plate out and show it to you guys on the live stream. What is the game? This is cool. Alright, so this is assembly here. And guess what, guys? We didn't follow directions again. So we're not supposed to put this side on yet. We're supposed to put the shelf in the middle. It's got peg holes that looks like it goes into this. That's what those holes are for. It's hard to know where I want this to be mounted. I'm going to mount it vertical, up and down, so that way I can try to get the AMS light in there. Because if I can't, I have the AMS light on the outside. It's tough. I really wanted this for protection of the AMS light itself. I really want to have this on the inside of the car. That way it's shielded. I think one of the SCADA panels, and don't quote me on this, one of the other SCADA panels can go in the front here. I just think figure out how to put it down there. And then I'll maybe I'll print like a bamboo light box and filament nozzle that is LED for filament that is pretty cool. The rest of it's got to be utilitarian tools and all that kind of stuff. So, well, step 3, I skipped step 3, is to put your grid panel in here. So it says that you can put it this way. Sooner or later, elementary school, learn my directions. Locks in place, that's nice. Ooh, that AMS is going to be a tight fit. Figure it out later. Now it says step 4, put the other side out. What is good at following directions? Just that's bad. Not too bad. I always struggle with directions on paper. But still gets assembled. I don't think I'll have anything out there for Volksy there. Oh, this box must be the caster wheels that it rolls on. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Putting the battery backup system for this little guy. Gonna be interesting. Can't wait to try that. If you're wondering why I chose such a small cart, it's because during the winter, I want to be able to put it in the interior of the car, or I should say my truck. You know, like a hatchback SUV, this probably fit in there pretty well as well. Car, I don't know about putting in an actual like sedan car. Maybe get it in the trunk. We'll find out after we have it all built up, and I imagine we'll figure out what the height is here. Let's see, yeah, what the height of this little beast will be. Join in here. What you're putting on there an A1 Mini? Red's 3D. Yes, I am. So I'll switch over to the camera here. This is our little this is our little A1 Mini that we're gonna put on there. I'm also gonna try my darndest to get that AMS Lite on there too with the SCADA system. I've already got a file printed off for that. I just have to take the screws off of it and then put it down in the file. It should clip on. My theory in the beginning was to put it on the inside of the cart, but it may have to go on the outside. Now, what might cause an issue. This may be a super blooper reel. Like, oh yeah, I did. So the bottoms, they wanted to where the tray, it is a tray. So I'm doing this for all you guys at home, so that you don't make the same mistakes I did. This is a hollow tray. this needs to be faced up so that things don't just slide off the top. Now I have to disassemble it again for a third time or second time. And actually, I think I gotta disassemble all the way to the beginning. So this will make for a funny time lapse video. And this is really where I wish I had a drill. So we made short work of this. I'm glad I noticed now though, because our A1 Mini was right off the top of this. It does move a little bit, especially when you're doing some faster prints. I've done. I printed off a whole bunch of fidget animals the weekend on it. I wanted to see how good it was multicolor printing, and I was pretty impressed. It printed pretty fast. What I do wish is I feel that the AMS Lite's base could be a lot more stable. I feel like I'm gonna constantly knock it over. All right. So yes, we have to disassemble. Again, you gotta turn these around. And even in the orientation that they're in, the printer will slide off. Hey, we're just 3D. Where did you find us at? Did you find us on Facebook or on your YouTube feed? If you don't mind me asking, just so I can understand where we're getting some audience from. When I get these switched over, I definitely gotta grab some copies. Even though they taste terrible. Oh, honey mustard ones taste terrible. If you like honey mustard, you're gonna like it a lot. I can't say that. If you like mustard, you probably like it. I would say it's a blend between mustard and honey mustard. Now, let's make sure. Okay, so this is gonna have to go up here. I had to reverse the panels too, otherwise the holes won't line up for the shelf. This complicated this up, like, and if you would have seen, or you did see, how simple the box packaging was, you would think that I had this assembled by now. How the directions. If you are joining us, you missed the beginning of the live stream. The purpose of this cart is to be able to take our printer wherever we wish to go. I want to, and judging from the size of this cart, it's going to be a challenge that I hope the community is up to trying. I need to get a neat pad. We're going to be able to, if we can pass all our experiment checkboxes, we're going to be able to have the A1 Mini printing on this cart, unplug the power station from the wall, wheel it down the hallway out of the hotel room, and go on tour with our little A1 Mini and our little IKEA cart. Okay, pay attention, Ken. Now, let's look here. Some of the other things that I covered about that is one of the experiments measuring sticks is going to be able to, okay, well, how does this system handle printing in the cold? I'm not too much worried about printing in the heat because I live in Michigan. I got to deal with the heat a month or two out of the year, but the cold we do it much longer. So that is one of the measuring sticks. Two is ideally, if I'm doing a longer print on this, say I'm doing one of those multicolor fidget animals that I get 2 to 3 dozen of them on the build plate at once, and it's 8+ hours, and I start it, and I'm not finished by the time I got to checkout. And I roll down the hallway and take it out of my truck and print while I'm driving. Because if I can do that, I can fully see later on, maybe, and this is brainstorming. Some people call it spitballing. I could see later on, I have a tray, utility tray, and I do a similar thing. Printing going for. Do a whole fleet of printers in my trailer that are mobile. Because I do like to go to art fairs, probably 4 times a year, have demonstrations. I learned a hard lesson at our Gold Coast Artisan Fair here in Michigan, Lakeland, Michigan, this past summer. And I knew the lesson. And my lovely fiance even gave me a prelude to the warning. She knew going out the door, hey, should you really take PLA? It's really hot out. It's like 90 degrees today. And it's super right in the sun. I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. No, it was not fine. It jammed up the AMS, the POS, automatic material system. Jammed that up. Also jammed up the nozzle. I wanted clearing it a lot later, but the printer was down for the weekend. So it was gnarly. I wound up losing probably an eighth of a roll of filament because it was all warped, and I didn't even want to try to set it through the AMS. I think it would have gotten stuck in the PTFE tubing because it was not all like the same diameter anymore. Some of them are as thin as fishing string. It was weird. Never seen anything like it. So kids, if you're printing outside, print in a material that is resistant. I think I could have got away with maybe patching. That's a little bit better. Even now, kind of pretty hot unless we're right directly in the sun. So now I'm installing that shelf, and I'm making sure I am in the vertical position because I want to try to put the AMS Lite on the side. It's going to be awesome power set. Like a tiger. If you're curious about what we're doing on the channel, Glorious Geeks, I'm trying to reinvent the wheel per se, but I'm trying to create our own community where not only can I teach others about 3D printing, but I can also learn from others. Because I am not a guru by any means. I've been printing since 2019, and 2018, late 2018, and while I know a lot, I don't know everything. So I like to learn too. One of our live streams, it was roughly 2 weeks ago now, We had a gentleman that was asking about how to put that G into work replacer. I'll be doing that this Wednesday. Uh, Specifically, e-signs touching, how to load that filament profile in there. I had a conversation with him via email, and it's pretty cool. We want to use a Prusa slicer because he knows Prusa slicer. Uh, he's certified to do this. Make sure you're certified. You can't just go off and launch these things. Rockets. He's printing, 3D printing rockets, which is incredible. Hey, we go. Printer and stuff. That's 40 minutes already. Wow. I want to say that I'm definitely not going for the fastest BRÄNNBOLL cart assembly record. That is our piece that we've gone off and printed for the A1 Mini there. It's made for the attachment tubes that go from the AMS Lite to the A1 Mini head. So that piece that's on there, you joined us since the last time, or in the beginning of the live stream. That piece up here, show you. Up here, this piece is really easy to snap off. So what this piece does is it goes around that and keeps you from accidentally snapping. It just provides a reinforcement, per se. All right, so I think we're officially to putting on wheels now. Now that I got it set up properly, make sure everything's snug and tight. Okay, now it says shirt on me. Step 4 did. Step 5 is turn the cart over upside down, like so. And install the caster wheels, which is this box. Nice, real quick. A lot of tape on this box. So, the fuel got heavy. Oh, that's nice. Got. So you guys can see a little bit better. 4 nice white caster wheels. 2 of them which have brakes on them. Oh, it looks like this. There's those brackets for those straps that I was talking about earlier that I didn't know came with this. It's just really cool. These green straps. I like the fact that they're green because we are going to try to mod this card out to be like bamboo colors. The only colors that will be different than the bamboo are the files that the community suggests to print on the cart that will be selected by us to make the cart more efficient and as condensed as possible. So the chart says to take this little wrench right here. Make sure these don't need to go. So these two go together on the short sides. Good. I cannot wait to get our printer on here. I'm wondering why I haven't started another print yet. It's because I want to get that. Here, this card. Okay. One of the things I may get for this little cart, I might actually have some at home, are the little rubber mats from Lowe's. Shout out to Uncle Jesse. 4 years ago, 4 years ago, he mentioned it on his videos that it helps with the vibrations. I can see with this cart, the cart is super helpful. So it's making a loud, ventilating racket sound. Also helps with the noise. Shout out to him on that. That's a good idea. It looks like this is about the right size for one of those. I'm kind of glad that I didn't get the 85X, AE5X flash forge, because I think that form factor would have been slightly too big for this card. But if it wasn't, or if it's not, then since the AD5X has its filament or its AMS stuff on the side, we could have used the bottom portion all for filament and tool. I guess we'll do that if we can't get our AMS interior. No, then I'll do another card with that on it someday. We got our wheels on here. Easily wheels. Oh my god. That's nice. So what the brakes were. Not too bad. Wouldn't they'd be better if they weren't on a tile floor, but they provide some resistance. Something that I stated earlier in the live stream, if you're just now joining us, well, yeah, you've joined us since then. One of the things I think we're going to have to overcome in the wintertime is we may have to upgrade these wheels to bigger wheels so that we can deal with the snow. Yay. So the next step, I believe, is to put those straps on. I'm going to assume on the bottom of that with the direction sign. So flip the page. Directions in there. There is. There's like 2 sets of directions in here. They're both English. So these little white inserts, I don't know if you can see these or not. Let's try to remote the camera. There's these little white inserts that come with it. They go in the holes that you did not use for the shelf. Just push into them. It's kind of nice because it makes the part look clean. Another reason why I chose this cart is because you have access to both sides of the cart, front and back. If you want to put stuff on it, into it. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. So that was that step. Number 7 is put the straps on. So these are the green straps right here. I don't know what we're going to use those for, but we got to put them on there because it's part of the assembly process. They almost look like tiny grafter straps. So you can see what I'm doing here. These are going to clip on the scatus like this. And show you on camera. So these are the pieces. And they go this. Like that. You put the other side, and just like it. This. You should. Oops. I put the one and I'm backwards. They should face the same direction because they both flip in the scatus in the same direction. Put it in here. And yeah, it's like a. That's neat. I'm sure we'll use something for that. For that. Oh, flips in like that. Those are neat. Looks like there's 8 of them. I can count right. Yeah, there's 8 of them. There's one in my hand, one on the side of the cart, and there's 6 more on the cart still. If you are watching after this live stream, I will probably time lapse this so you don't have to go through this process with. Got my Panera Bread drink. I can't believe I gotta eat this whole bag of pretzels. Not good. Oh, not good. Not a fan. Got plenty of bungee straps. See if you guys can figure seeing me on the camera. So it looks like 4 assemble with just the 2 small pieces, and then looks like 4 will assemble with the shelving brackets of some sort. I'll turn the cart around with the other 4 so you can see them on the other side without anything else with them. So the other ones are bigger ones. They go in the same way as the smaller ones. Um, they're more like a side slide though. You just slide into the hoop on the bracket, and then the other end, just like the other one, slides there. And I believe, make sure to follow directions. So these, oh, so these get mounted like this. The big part goes down, and according to the directions, the big part is supposed to go down, and then pulls up like this, but it doesn't want to stay in its status. Oh, yeah. Those actually clamp down in it. I see. You gotta push it a little firm for those to go down. I'm gonna have to test that out and see if that. Those look like those are the right diameter to hold rolls of filament on. That'd be nice. I was not planning if that's the case. That's a lot of parts, so that must mean I did a good job, right? They do. It looks like they do give you an extra white piece because I did fill all the holes that it said. If I did want to have an extra piece, what would that mean? Oh wait, I take it back. Looks like this is a little. Okay, so this goes. They say that they want this on the bottom. It can go anywhere where this gas goes. It's just a little shelf. Stick things in. I put this one here. So you can slide like pamphlets and stuff in there. Cardboard boxes. Trash. Just kidding. But that is the BRÄNNBOLL Cart. Pretty elastic. One of the systems that I want to put on this cart is the Gridfinity system for the toolboxes and things. I think they're going to be able to fit in these compartments pretty well. I keep saying I want to put things in the cart, but I haven't seen if they do yet. But let us see if the A1 Mini, time for the all-important test here, can the A1 Mini fit onto this? Slide it off real quick. Disconnect the light. Go. There it is. There's our little friend Alfie on a IKEA BRÄNNBOLL Cart. Now, will this hit? No, it will not hit there, and it will not hit in the back. That's excellent, and it's a recessed cart, so it won't slide around there very much. Now, here comes the next test. I'm a little concerned about what are we going to do with the AMS Lite. Let's see. Will this fit in here? Oh, it will-ish. It'll fit that way, but it won't fit the way. So I originally imagined that this would fit this way inside there, and it probably will if I took the center thing out. And I may wind up doing that. I don't know. Or drop it in the comments on what you think. Should we put side for a side mount? Because I can mount it on the side like this, or on, it'd probably be best on this side. And then we can use the bottom for tool storage. I think that's what I want to do. We drop it in this interior for the inside, or side for the sides. So this is that little piece that out there. Supports came with it. It goes in here. I'll have to disassemble this at a later point and do that. Now, we're going to print something big on this for the next 4 hours. I'm going to print a chain guide on this. But before we do that, plug it back in. What does it reach? Let's see, get a little closer. Oh, we're actually looking at that. We are. That's good. So it looks like we could technically have this. There we go. All the way here. So I'm gonna print this. I'm gonna have to do the modifications here. So I can put the AMS Lite on the side. But for tonight, I'll need it set up like this. Let's go as far as I can. Put our IKEA BRÄNNBOLL. The print just like this. Gotta print a hoop bucket for this thing. I'm gonna print a hoop deflector for this. We got lots of parts to print for this guy. Now that this is assembled, I'm gonna move the camera so you can see it better. This is what the rig looks like so far. Fits on there pretty good, I would say. You don't really have room for the AMS in here, but I do believe there's like drawers and stuff that you can print that are for the side. I know there's going to be one that I'm going to print. I don't remember if it's 5 now. I'll put it in the collections tab on Maple World on our profile. And it's a drawer system that you can stack underneath it. So for now, we're going to put our film back in our next file though. Car's going to be super nice to be able to move this thing around with all its tools. Probably, hopefully several rolls of filament. In addition to what's already on the AMS Lite. Probably upgrade these PTFE tubes so they're a little longer. Especially with the mounted to the side, we're going to need that. Put the brakes on the cart. Which our little Alfie wants to roll away. It's a finalized name for that. Board back on. I'm also going to print chain guides for this. A chain guide for this, and a chain guide for this. Back over to the main view here. This is the handle that we printed for this machine as well. This will go up here, just like this. It replaces this piece, so you can carry it around. Or lift it and move it if you need to. This is here. Switch back to the other cam here. So yeah, our tabletop's pretty cleaned up now. See where we got some leftover poop here. I'm sure the room service is gonna really appreciate us for that. Alex says take the middle portion out. Yes, we could do that. As far as you're referring to the AMS Lite, putting it in there. That's an option. We could do that. That would mean all of our tools and stuff would probably have to go on the outside of the cart. So it is an option. Let me see if I can pull up there. For those of you that are watching this live. Where should the AMS test go on the cart? Side, interior, somewhere else. Bench back over the corner real quick. Should get this correct. I should be able to show you guys both the printer and myself at the same time. We're gonna do bring back the can again. Can you guys see the printer? Yep, looks like you can on the YouTube live feed. Should see it right above my water bottle. Thermos. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take that file I spoke about earlier, and the ingredient is in number one. So we're going to take that file of the chain guard. This is where I save things up. So the uh, collection that you'll see on Maker World is called Print and Pretzels Mobile. And you can see on there that I've already added the AMS Lite club armor, which was that little piece that goes in the top, the A1 Mini handle, and now we're going to be adding the A1 Mini chain, A1 Mini cable chain. I'm going to open that now. Print it. You should see it go in just a second. Well, the cloud and send it to the printer. There it goes. We're off to the races. Put this out of the way. Reverse these. I'm gonna make the printer bigger and be smaller. That's the important thing here. You want to watch the printer. Apologies, you guys. I forgot to put the chat box up there. You guys can see the chat right now. Filament loading in. We got that beautiful green that's going to be the chain guide. Once we get the final layout of the cart, uh, I'll print out some cable guides that'll help organize the cart. We'll get these all taken care of. All the PTFE tubes looking clean. So do you guys think this will work? Now that you see the cart unboxed with the AMS or AM1 AM1 A1 Mini on top, you see the size of the AMS Lite with it. You think it's going to do the job? I'm thinking so. I'm thinking we might have some more creativity involved on what to print. All these pretzels are so gross. I can't believe I'm eating them still. Curious to see how loud the cart gets. Put that on there. I gotta move that piece because I'm sure that's gonna rattle around. This should print fairly fast, so we should see the cart move a little bit if it's gonna move. Right now we're using the wall outlet. We're not using any of the any backup batteries. I'll probably say that for our next live stream. I want to try putting. It's going to be tough, but putting the Anchor Solix Gen 1 onto this cart and seeing what that looks like. It's a pretty big power station in comparison to the size of the cart. If that winds up being the power station we put on there, it's going to be a little bit too big. I have to take that center section out. What that would do though, because the Anchor power station is pretty heavy, think it's about 35, 40 pounds. It would really stabilize the cart. So far, so good. That black cable you see there, that's the next guide that we're going to print. We want to make sure that stays up on the build plate. It doesn't fray, bend in any awkward ways. Then the third guide that I will print will be the cable you can barely see that's in the back. So that way we can make sure that any of the points where the cables connect don't get any friction or start wearing and tearing. Because that's the one thing I've seen with these bed slinging type printers is with that bed moving back and forth like that, it really adds friction points to where the cables connect. All right, it says it's calibrating the extrusion right now. The big test that I want to do for this cart project of ours is I want to leave it in the back of my truck for 24 hours. It's covered. We'll have the Anchor Solix power station going. This printer does not nearly consume as much as our LED Sensori carbon does, so it should last much longer. How do you guys think it'll do? Do you think it'll what print should we risk failing when it comes to testing for science purposes? My next question would be, what printer do you think would work even better on this card than the A1 Mini? Do you have any mods that you'd like us to do with this card? One of the sides will not have the AMS Lite on it, so we can use any SCADAS mods on that. I'm probably going to put a SCADAS panel on the front of it. That's going to be an additional mod to this. One of them, I believe, is going to fit quite nicely on there. It's not the 30-inch, 33-inch wide one. I think it is the 20-inch wide one. It'll fit probably right on the front. How are we going to store cables on this? I know I talked about the cable guides for the A1 Mini, and earlier in that live stream I talked about doing the cable guides for the SCADAS. Do you guys know of anything that is just as good or better than those kinds of guides? At the end of everything, I think we should deck this out in LEDs. I think it would look really cool for like our art fairs and print shows. So what you see going on there is you see these are individual links for the chain guide on the print bed. We're gonna be in this, what's it? Tech Sonar 3D filament. It's rainbow matte color. It's all green, different shades and gradients of green. I'm not sure why the label says rainbow, but that is the color they labeled it. I'm a big fan of it because it's like different gradient colors of the bamboo green. Our little Alfie printer, that's what I'm going to call him. So somebody gives him a better name. Uh, it's doing quite good. Looks like the layers are going down pretty well. It's nice that I can't actually see the printer, but I can see it on the camera feed. Kind of like this setup. Maybe I'll do this with all our other printers at our home studio. We have two L-Lucentari carbons, three bamboo P1Ss with two AMSs on each one of them. And then also, just recently, right before we got this guy, we got the Frozen Arco. We back in Kickstarter 2 years ago from Frozen. We're super excited about that. That's what we print our printing pretzels with Wednesday nights. Check us out there. We're moving that time from 8 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Wednesdays because the 2 hour time period seems to be about right for these live streams. So everybody can tune in and check and come back and jump on, jump off if they need to, get their updates. First layer is going down pretty great. Super excited for that. Oh, these pretzels. I haven't even put a dent in this bag yet. Oh my word. If anybody likes the Dots homestyle pretzels honey mustard flavor, I'll send them to you. Oh my word. I like honey mustard on my chicken nuggets and stuff. Not my pretzels. Dude, just close the poll. Looks like, oh, it's divided. 50% of people said on the side, 50% of people said in the interior. Hmm. If I did it on the side, I wonder if how well the PTFE tubes would handle going in the cable guides that I would put on a SCAS. So I'd like to keep these cable guides up and out of the way. The good news is, even though it's going pretty slow right now because it's the first layer, I don't see the card shaking at all. That's good. I actually see the AMS Lite shaking more than the card. That's reassuring to see. And I think as we add more weight to the card, it'll keep it more stable, especially if we put it on the bottom, like with the batteries that I want to put on here. So after this first layer finishes, I think that we'll probably see the printer speed pick up. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but that black cable that comes out of the top of the print head, you can see how it dips down and gets kind of close to the print head. For now, Bambu sends these printers with these cable guys, and I have mine here somewhere. It's just a little clip that goes on there. Oh, it's already on there. But it just goes to the PTFE tube. It doesn't really like have anything sturdy to hold on to. So it it works, but it's not optimal. It needs to be have an actual chain guide on it. Yeah, you can see that the AMS light's moving on that stool because it's not a cushion stool, but it even moves when it's on a flat surface too. But cart, no problem. No shaking, no shimmying. That makes me happy. If you're wondering, I don't think the IKEA BRÄNNBOLL has any other colors. It's just the white. Let me double check though. Yeah, I'm only seeing the white. They do have another card on there that I didn't see before. It's the IKEA Trotten. Well, the same depth as this card, but it's wider. Maybe someday we try that one out. It's a little taller too. It's 31 inches tall. Maybe we put one of our bigger printers on there, maybe an A1. do you guys think should be the next upgrade we do to the actual cart? The next upgrade we should do to the cart for me, besides AMS, that's a given. That's got to get on the cart. It's part of the whole scientific process. The next upgrade would be how do we get filament on it? How do we get rolls of filament so that I don't have to carry it from point A to point B? I can just live on the cart. Or, or even better idea, how do we get uh, filament dryers on the cart? That would be cool because the AMS Lite is gonna always have 4 spools of filament on it, but what do we do with the filament after it's done? Or just sit out in the elements? Let's get a dryer out there. I know there are files on Maker World for Scatus Sunlu dryers. I'm working on printing some drawers in black for the tools. Right now we're printing the cable guides, the links for the cable that you see that is right below. Stand up over here. We're printing the cable guide that goes to this. So this is kind of like always flopping out of here. We want to get this sturdy so it doesn't fray, or and the next one we'll print is the one for this one. It keeps the cable sturdy and it doesn't from moving too much and splicing and being a fire risk. So the price point for this IKEA BRÄNNBOLL is $89.99. For some of the other carts that are out there, IKEA makes a lot of them. It's to me, it's way more affordable. So the IKEA Trotten that I mentioned earlier, that was 189. Essentially, you get double the amount of cart. But for something as small as the A1 Mini, I don't think you're gonna need it. My suspicion was, and I think that it's correct so far, we can get everything that we need to for the A1 Mini on there, including the AMS Lite, including tools, filament, maybe even a dryer or two, and maybe the anchored power stations. Power station. We gotta wait for see if Anchor sends us one. Because ideally, if we can get the Anchor Gen 2, that one's a smaller form factor, I think that would help us pass the test that much more. The casters are super stable. Like I said before, I think we're gonna have to upgrade those eventually. When it comes to winter time, having to do with slush, snow, maybe they make some Baja ones that look like the big fat beach bike tires or something. Find those. They look like they were standard caster threading. I'm super excited about this just for the simple fact of carting. Excuse the pun. I'm taking this back and forth from my truck to the hotel room, and I'm actually parked right outside the door. It's still a pain in the butt to go back and forth. This will just from this alone will save me minimum 3 trips. Not counting all the camera gear for live streaming, things like that nature. If I can get all the filament on there, tools, camera, like maybe some camera, IKEA Gridfinity something or other, that would be exceptional. Well, that's something I want to look up. Let's see if IKEA has it on the listing. I want to see what the weight rating is for this cart. Product details. Materials and care. It's a steel frame, so it should hold pretty good. Excuse me, hold up pretty well. So it says max load for per shelf is 33 pounds. That's confusing. It's max load per shelf 33 pounds. Max load per shelf 4.4 pounds. Max load hanging horizontal 4 pounds. Oh, the 4.4 pound shelf must be the grid shelf. Okay, that makes sense. So all total 66. We should be able to put close to 100 pounds of equipment on this little steel cart. It's another reason why I went after this cart. It's because it's steel. It's not like the particle boards or the cheaper material that'll break down if it's exposed to the elements. The only thing I think that might break down over time is those elastic straps, but I might not use those anyways. Those are probably useful for the people that are gamers that they can slide their controllers and but later on in the series I will show some status controller attachments. I think this would actually even fit an A1 on this. Let me see. Let's look at the dimensions of the A1 real quick. Let's Bambu Lab A1. So the physical dimensions are 465, so I would imagine that's how tall it is, by 410 by 430 millimeters. What is that in comparison to the A1? Yeah, so the width dimensions are for the A1 Mini are 60 millimeters shorter. I mean, what is that inches? Rules like that. 2.36 inches. This printer, especially since the A1 is a little higher up, yeah, the A1 sits a little bit higher up, I think it would be just fine. Now, what you might have to deal with is it's got 2 inches of clearance on each side. The only thing I would think you might have to deal with if you put the A1 on this instead of the A1 Mini is you might have the bed go off the edge as it goes back and forth, maybe an inch or two. So you just have to make sure you have enough clearance for that. But I think it would fit just fine. Maybe that's something we do later on in the series. Is all right, we upgraded the cart. Now do we upgrade the printer? There's plenty of clearance on all sides of the cart. The back, it's up towards the back, but there's 3 inches of clearance in the front of the cart. And the A1 would have your bigger print volume on it. It would have, it's 256 by 256 and 256. So it's the same size as your P1S or your X1 Carbon. I would make sure that's true. All right, where is it? There it is. Yeah, so the P1S is 256 by 256 by 256. So you would have the same build volume, it just there would be a bed center instead of. You wouldn't be able to put a P1S on this cart if anyone's wondering that because of the enclosure. The enclosure is too big. That would put it well outside of the parameters of this cart. So we're doing good. I don't know if you can hear it on the live stream or not, but the only like loud noise that the A1 Mini makes is the fan kicks on from time to time, pretty loud. If it weren't for that fan, I could almost think I could take this in the workroom. Roll it in on the cart and make an appearance. So far, so good. Looks like we might have something going on with the print in the front, though. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to cancel this print because 3 of the pieces of furniture not attached to the build plate. So we got to stop this print. Actually, I might be able to use the handy app and skip those. So those of you, if you are not aware of this, on the Bambu handy app on your mobile device, you can actually skip certain objects on the printer bed. You open it up, you go to your printer, and you skip the ones that are failing. For us, it was the first 3. The hard thing about that is when you go to do it, there's no rhyme or reason like how it detects which one is which. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. We gotta do the first 4. We got 4 folks failing too. And now I'm gonna print those items, so that way we haven't wasted our time starting this. Again, you can use that on the Bambu Handy app on your phone. It's nice to be able to control it like that. All right, my friends, that's going to do it for tonight's Printing Pretzels Room Service Edition. The BRÄNNBOLL Cart is officially unboxed. It's doing great. I'm excited. So many upgrade potentials. It's I'm so very excited. I can't wait to get this AMS Lite on the cart, whether it's in the interior or the exterior. It's gonna make this whole process of printing pretzels mobile edition to be so much more simplified and easy just for transportation, let alone organization. If you had a good time, hit that like button or subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget that we're taking this thing big on the road soon, so don't miss that episode out. If you want to check us out on Print and Pretzel Studio Edition, that is on Wednesday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. That way we get 2 hours in there. We're printing it on a Frozen Arco, the giant printer we just got from Frozen that we backed on Kickstarter. So if you want to hang out with us on Wednesday night, we'll see you then. And until next time, be glorious.